What's good, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy Akil McLeod back with another live video. Today, going live normal time. Last week we had to switch things up because I was out of town, but we are back on regular schedule. So if you guys are going to be catching this on the replay, I go live every Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, usually just for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And I'm here just to answer any entrepreneur, business, reselling related questions that you guys may have. And it's really just about providing some value and just, really just getting a chance to engage with you guys on another level. So like I said, once you guys start coming in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel grow, just helps more people discover the channel. There's a few things I definitely want to cover today in the live show. I know I just saw a message from UPS. No, I saw a message on eBay that they're going to start collabing more with UPS. So I definitely want to start addressing that because, as you guys know, USPS definitely has been experiencing a lot of delays. So I'm pretty sure that's why they, wanted to do some more business with some other service providers. And outside of that, we can cover eBay managed payments, how everything is going with that. And other than that, that's really all I have planned. I'm really just going to be basing the show off of you guys' questions. So as people are coming in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel grow. I got a couple people in the chat so far. We got Nomad in here. Peace, my brother. Paces 305. What's good? Glad this is back to regular time. Yeah, it's definitely back. Definitely back on track. What's going on? You got Shar. Howdy. How you doing? Yeah, shipping is going up October 1st. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm also address that in a couple minutes as well. What's going on, Sean? How you feeling? How everything is good with you as well? So yeah, like I said, in terms of UPS, as you all know, the delays have been crazy. So UPS is definitely gonna be a better option. It might be cheaper. I seen just reading the note that they put on the message wall in your eBay Seller Hub. I'm pretty sure everybody should be able to access those messages. They didn't necessarily go into too much detail. They basically just said that they've partnered with UPS to provide more deals. They said that basically the shipping rate should be anywhere between like 40 and 50% cheaper than it usually is. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm always looking forward to just different shipping options. I live right across the street from the post office, so it's super convenient for me. But overall, when it comes down to it, it's all about trying to save as much money as possible with shipping. And this year, since I've been focusing more on selling shoes, I'm not shipping as many first-class items as I used to. So some shoes I have, some, especially with the upcoming months, I'm going to be shipping out a lot of boots. And as you all know, those type of stuff are super expensive. And the weight usually has a huge, the weight basically determines how expensive an item, how expensive shipping is going to be. So I'm just looking forward to getting the opportunity to, ship out items cheaper, hopefully faster. Buyers get it faster than they were before because, like I said, the delays have been crazy. I literally just got some padded flat rate bags this week after ordering them on August 4th or August 3rd. So at this point, I'm literally just trying to keep ordering more shipping supplies because as fourth quarter continues, I don't think we're officially into the fourth quarter yet. But for me, I've been in that fourth quarter mindset all year long. Shipping supplies is going to be at an all-time high. Whether we're going to be shipping stuff out with UPS, whether you're going to be using Pirate Ship, whether you're going to be just using eBay shipping platform, which is USPS, or FedEx for that matter, you just want to make sure you have enough shipping supplies and you're ordering them ahead of time because you don't want to wait too long. You don't want to have to deal with just having to deal with the rush. And at the end of the day, if you don't have your shipping supplies, you can find yourself spending way more money on shipping than you would usually have to do. So it's all about just trying to be smart, trying to be proactive, trying to stay ahead of the game in terms of being an entrepreneur and just a business owner in general. We always have to just make pivots, make adjustments, and just try to plan for the future. So that's what I'm about now. Just trying to make sure you guys get that message because as of right now, shipping supplies is going to be super, super important. Now let's see who else is in the chat. What's going on? Shipping is going up October 1st. Yeah, so we got that that notification from USPS. I got it on Pirate Ship as well. Basically, the post office, as we all know, has been delayed. They've been threatening to strike and all these types of stuff. And I believe they said it's going to be 25 cents additional for first class packages, and I think 40 cents for first class item for priority items, and I think an additional $1.40 or $1.50 for express. I don't usually ship out anything express. I don't usually do that, so I'm not too concerned with that. The additional costs for first class and priority items definitely applies to me. And it's one of those things where you can't necessarily like try to add 50 cents more to your buying costs, because that really wouldn't make much sense. But at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. Like I said, we're always going to have to pivot, make adjustments as the business continues to grow. And just being in business, the longer you're in business, you can't continue to do the same thing. And hopefully the good thing is, honestly, they said it's going to, I think, stop December like 27th or something like that. But then every year, the post office increases annually. So basically what we're seeing, they're just increasing the cost just sooner than they usually do. Every single year, the cost of shipping goes up due to inflation. So we're just going to experience that a little sooner than we usually would. But it is what it is. Let's see. First time catching a live. Welcome to the channel. We in here. We are in here. If you got any questions, if you got any video topics, anything like that you want me to talk about in future videos, drop that in the comment section too. I like making videos that's like super specific to what people want. That way I know I'm actually providing value. The questions people have, I can just get to that. Sometimes I can answer it here, and then sometimes I might just go back and make a full video. So I'm glad you're here to catch the live for the first time. Let's see, Planet Space, what's going on? How to know when you should go on eBay. Right now, I sell on Poshmark and Mercari, but scared to go on eBay. The time is now. The time is definitely now. It's one of those things where feedback is super important on eBay. It's not like Poshmark where you can just hop onto Poshmark and just start selling and people will just kind of trust you immediately. With eBay, it's very feedback oriented. So the faster you can get onto eBay, the better. The faster you can try to start purchasing some items just so you can start getting some feedback for yourself. Even if it's like buyer feedback, people would still know that you're not brand new to the platform. Granted, once you do start trying to sell anything on eBay, chances are you're going to receive some type of scam email, some type of spam stuff where people are going to be trying to offer you more money for the stuff that you're selling. You're going to get people just sending you all types of random messages just because the scammers, they tend to poach on brand new eBay sellers. So you just want to get into the game as soon as possible. I know a lot of people, when it comes to starting on new platforms, myself included, I've been saying I'm going to start selling on Mercari for mad long, but I'm still just selling on eBay because that's what works for me, and I just enjoy selling on that platform. But if you do want to start selling on eBay, the time is now. Just get to it. I made some videos, like some starter tips. So check in the catalog. I got a ton of videos on like eBay for beginners, eBay 101. And a lot of the stuff, especially since you're already selling on Poshmark and Mercari, you already have that reseller mindset. You know what I mean? You know about margins, you know about sourcing. So it's just about getting on a different platform that has more buyers. The reason why I love eBay so much, and I've always been like I remember I used to make a lot more Poshmark content, but I would always say my main platform is still eBay. And it's always been because eBay has the most buyers. That's the platform where people are more familiar with buying. People are more familiar with shopping. They have the eBay money back guarantee. So people just feel, more safe with buying stuff on eBay, which is just well known. So like I said, the time is now. Get on there, get this money. Let's see. I ordered padded flat rate envelopes and they sent me the regular ones. What? That's crazy. Are you sure you ordered the right ones? Because sometimes people order the wrong ones, but that would be ridiculous. I'd be very upset because it's the cost difference. You know what I mean? I use padded flat rate bags because it's $7.52 to ship out stuff, and you can kind of finesse a lot of stuff into those padded flat rate bags. So for me, it's a huge part of my like shipping inventory. But those other padded flat rates, the other flat rate envelopes, I don't use them as much. So I'd definitely be upset if something like that happened. Still just order those padded flat rate bags though. Just order those. You got to have those on deck. Let's see. Just started an eBay store. Thanks for any helpful information. Any advice? Any advice on how to increase your followers on IG? So IG has changed, right? Instagram is not the same place that it used to be when I was heavily like invested into eBay onto Instagram. I used to spend a lot of time on Instagram. I used to be the person, scrolling through all the time, liking, following a bunch of people to try to garner some more followers. None of the tips that I can give you will help nowadays. It's all about, I don't even know what it's all about. I'm hardly ever on there. So I'm not the guy for that. I know a lot of people, they think if they want to be a reseller, they have to be super active on social media. And for me, my social media, my handles, DapperAdvisor, that's a whole other business model for me. I usually do that for like brand partnerships, fashion, men's style, all those types of stuff. You definitely don't need to be active on social media to be a successful reseller. I know a lot of people say they sell via Instagram, they sell via Facebook and Marketplace and all these different places. But trust me, you can just hop on to whether it's Mercari, whether it's eBay, create your platform, create your profile, and just start selling today. Reselling and social media, honestly, I don't think it goes hand in hand. I think it can help you grow your business to a certain degree. It could give you more exposure, but that's just a whole other business model that it's really not necessary. Peace and blessings. I sold some shoes recently and it's been a week and the buyer has not paid. I sent eBay a message stating they haven't paid. What has been your experience with non-payers? Now, when it comes to people that doesn't pay, right? The thing for me, what I've realized, I've only was experiencing that. I used to experience that a lot when I was accepting offers on items. Now my store is the price is the price. I don't charge shipping because I incorporate the cost of shipping. So I don't deal with those type of situations anymore. You might want to do the same thing if you start to experience that kind of often. The couple things that I've done when that did happen to me, I would send the buyer a reminder after like the first day. In my description, I would say payment must be received within 24 hours. And, if it wasn't received that way, the buyer kind of knows why I'm sending them a reminder. You can also have it set automatically as to eBay opening an unpaid buyer case, unpaid item case. You can have that set automatically after the third day. That way you can still receive your fee credits without losing out on any money. But once I stopped accepting offers, I stopped having to deal with lowballers. I stopped dealing with people that don't pay. And once I get a notification on my phone, it's literally either somebody sending me a message like inquiring about an item, or it's a notification that an item sold. So that's something to keep in mind. I know for me, it was just annoying. You know what I mean? Just constantly getting notifications and lowballs, and I'm out at dinner and I see my phone and I'm like, look at this. Who's trying to send me a $2 offer for $100 item? Like it used to be stuff like that all the time. So I just moved away from it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Do you ever ship using regional packaging? I used to use this all the time. I used to use the regional A box, not so much the regional B box, but the regional A box. I used to use that all the time. The regional boxes are basically priced based on the region. So if you're shipping something, I'm on the West Coast. So if I'm shipping something in California, and it might be more cost effective to do it that way if I wanted to use a regional A box. I don't usually use them anymore because I use pirate ship for any like shipping item, any item that's like bigger than a padded flat rate envelope. I usually go straight to pirate ship, and it still saves me money. It might be a few cents cheaper than using a regional A box, but at the end of the day, it still saves me money. So I don't use it as often, but regional A boxes, regional B boxes, it's flat rate. No, it's not flat rate. It's based on the region. So I think it goes as high as like $10.80 as of right now in 2020. So it can be a viable option if you're not into using pirate ship and other shipping options. But it's one of those boxes that a lot of people don't usually use because it could be kind of pricey, like I said. But it's an option. I use it sometimes. Let's see. Do you have an account with FedEx or UPS? I see that eBay has pushed back estimated shipping days for USPS. And so I don't have an account with either one. Anytime I use FedEx, it's usually FedEx Smart Post, and I just print out the label through eBay. Same thing with UPS. No, I don't remember if I ever shipped out anything with UPS before. But I know I will be once I see the updated UPS rates and stuff like that. As long as it's cheaper, it's competitive to USPS, I'm gonna definitely be using it. But as of right now, I don't use either one of them. When it comes down to the estimated shipping days, I think that's a good thing because it just lets the buyer know that there are delays that's out of the seller's control. So it kind of lets people know if you're buying something, even if the shipping is priority or expedited or any option like that you choose, it just gives the buyer some peace of mind knowing that, if they get the item faster, well then cool, but it just lets them know not to have their expectations too high because it's literally just out of our control. Let's see, the middleman picker. It feels like the fourth quarter already started because my sales hasn't increased. Well, I mean, I believe it. It's one of those things where fourth quarter sales, I feel like my sales have been pretty consistent for a while now, so I can't even notice like a huge increase to say. But I know a lot of people are just shopping more. Fall is here. Fall is not necessarily here. We're still in the last few days of summer. Excuse me. So a lot of people are going to be, doing some shopping for either some new outfits because a lot of states are starting to open back up. I know in Arizona, the gyms open back up, all the bars and all of the movies are opening back up. So people are starting to just shop more, feel more comfortable with, buying clothes for new seasons. Outside of that, hard goods, electronics, all those types of stuff, we're going to continue to see an increase in sales on stuff like that because people just gonna want to keep shopping and keep buying throughout the next 4 months. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's really just because people are either buying gifts for themselves and people are just, used to just shopping more during this time, especially with Labor Day sales coming up soon and Black Friday and all of those different stuff. We're going to definitely start seeing an increase in sales. I know it's just super important to make sure that you have a solid amount of inventory that you're able to, that you're able to participate in the increased fourth quarter sales. I remember when I first started selling on eBay, everyone said fourth quarter was huge. That's when you're going to start making the most amount of money. I didn't see that. I was still selling a lot of used thrifted items. So I didn't necessarily see an increase in sales for the fourth quarter. It wasn't until the following year when I started doing more retail arbitrage, buying brand new items like Uggs and stuff like that. That's when I started seeing an increase in sales. So you want to keep all those things keep those things in mind. Let's see. How many items can one person usually list in one day? Like, what is the maximum? I can't do more than 30 a day. I think 30 a day is perfectly fine. Like 30 a day is a lot. Like if you're consistently doing 30 listings a day, that's a lot of items. That's a lot of listings. That's a lot of activity in your store. So that's dope. I usually stick around maybe 10 to 15. Even if I have like 100 items to list, I'd rather just do it, spread it out throughout the week. That's why it's like a consistent, it's a consistent amount of items going in my store every week. Just so that the activity in my store is consistent, because eBay's algorithm likes that type of activity. So for me, I don't necessarily try to do too much listings in one day. I kind of just spread it out. Let's see. Have you sold any food or candy / snacks on eBay? I definitely sold rations in the past. I remember I found it was at like this church thrift store, and they had like a whole bunch of like boxes of rations. And rations are basically like what people in the military would use, or people that like to hike and just outdoorsy type of people would purchase rations. And I sold them I was making good money on them. I made well over maybe $2,000 or $3,000 on them, because there were a lot of them, and I got them for a steal. I think I paid like $1, and it was like 50 in a box. I believe the brand was Daltrex or something like that. And I was killing them. I was selling them for like anywhere between $10 and $12 for one. And I had so many of them that after a while, I literally was just giving them away because they eventually expired. And I was just like trying to just get rid of them. But I don't sell a ton of candy and all those types of things, but rations I've definitely sold in the past. Ever had anyone cancel an order right after you send an invoice? Well, I don't necessarily send invoices. I think I set it automatically, so eBay automatically sends buyers invoices. But I've had people literally make a purchase and then cancel it right after. That's happened to me all the time. That's happened a couple times this week. I don't know exactly what the reason is. It used to piss me off when we were having to do all our business and payment processing on PayPal. That definitely used to piss me off, because we would still have to pay that processing fee. Now, when someone cancels an order, the good thing is that even when they cancel, we're still we're getting refunded that processing fee from eBay, and those fee credits come right back. So we no longer have to lose out on money when someone cancels, but it happens all the time. Somebody literally just purchased that video I dropped today, and I was talking about that neck harness. The person that purchased that neck harness actually purchased it first, asked, and then they canceled it. Well, they sent a cancel request and I accepted it, and then they purchased it again and was like, oh, sorry for the misunderstanding, or I think they had the wrong address or something like that. So it happens all the time. It's just, it's just a good thing now that we don't lose out on those processing fees anymore. What's going on, Derek? Let's see. Hey, bro, how much do you make on average gross selling on eBay? Average gross right now, we already passed 6 figures so far in gross sales. I'm not even super excited about it because I've been spending a lot of money. I've been buying a lot of inventory. I've been spending a lot, so it don't necessarily feel like I'm bringing home a whole bunch of money right now. And on top of that, the goal in terms of sales this year was 300,000 in sales. Due to the pandemic and me not being able to source as much as I would have liked to for those couple of months where stores were closed out here, it kind of did set me back a little bit. It took me a while to even realize that because I was still so super positive about everything and not really tripping. But I realized that did kind of set me back. So I'm still trying to do a solid fourth quarter, still trying to push as much as possible because that's really all we could do at this point. But so far I passed the 6-figure mark on eBay so far. So you'll see what the year caps out at. At the end of the year, I'm definitely going to do like a gross sale video to show people what the numbers really looking like, because by me doing these like daily what sold videos and just kind of sharing the sales all the time, I think it's only right to share the overall sales at the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. I'll let people know what the numbers looking like. Let's see. I saw some limited edition Sweetheart candy that was selling on eBay for $7 a pack, and at my grocery store it was only $1. But I'm a little hesitant to buy. I mean, honestly, it probably would be a good flip, but I don't usually buy stuff that small in margins. I'm good for buying something like $1 and selling it for maybe 15 or 20, but $1 into 7, I'm not really big on that. So I mean, it's possible if you can get a lot of it and you could probably do some volume, maybe bundle it up together and sell like 3 for like 25 or something like that. That might be a better option. But I'm not usually the one that does like turning $1 into 7 or $1 into 6. For me, I just don't really like playing in those type of margins. But I know a lot of other sellers that do it. Walmart does it, and that's how they make all their millions. So it's definitely possible. Let's see, a video about how to manage your Excel spreadsheet, the columns, rows, and basically how to keep track of the purchased items and taxes paid on these particular items. What do I use? I know I don't use Excel. It's the thing for Google. I think it's called Numbers or something like that. It's just like a Google form that I use to keep all my stuff together. But my system's super basic, but I can do a video on that, but mine is super basic. Let's see. I'm a reseller and also work in retail full time. Retail stores have a lot of clearance right now because they're switching the fall season. There's a lot of extra sweet deals out there right now. Absolutely. As long as you know which stores to hit up and you're going there often enough where you can kind of take advantage of it, there's definitely a lot of good deals out there, a lot of good opportunities. You just got to be on top of it, especially Labor Day is coming up, Black Friday's coming up, and Cyber Monday, all of those types of sales. Those sales even start before the week before those sales start to come up. So you just gotta, be on top of it, be consistent. I tell people all the time, consistency is the only thing Consistency is the only thing that like kind of got me into the position where I'm in today. It's not even like I figured out the game and I'm just some big expert. It's literally just about going to source every day, being on the eBay platform every day, trying to soak up as much information and just, being in tune with the business and literally trying to learn and get better at it every single day. That's the only reason why I'm at this position now. So you just got to go out and source. I source every day still. Every day I'm still, once I go to the gym or if I go to the grocery store or if I'm just going to check the mail, I'm going to hop in the car and run to Ross and see if they got anything new. And just by doing that, I'm always ahead of the game. Some days I get there too late and somebody else may have got some stuff, but I'm still trying to put myself in a position to win just by being on top of it. Let's see. When do you think is the best time to hire help for listings? I have a bunch of inventory needs to be listed, but I'm not sure if it is the time for hiring help. Listing sometimes overwhelming. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Everyone loves the sourcing. The sourcing part is the fun part where you can go and treasure hunt and all you got to do is swipe, bring it upstairs to your house, and like half the job is done. The most important part is the listing part. So I say the time to hire somebody is literally when you just it's to the point where you can't do it, where it's maybe hundreds of items where you're super behind, and by you listing 20-30 items a day you feel like you just can't get ahead. So I would probably just hire somebody, maybe seasonally, maybe just try it for a week and try to, because whoever you hire is going to take time for you to train them and kind of get them up to speed. So take a week, take a couple weeks, maybe a month, try to train that person up and try to get it done. But honestly, it's just one of those things where I never hired somebody. The only person that's worked with me ever was my wife. So I can't really tell you when is the perfect time. It's just all about knowing when you can actually afford to pay someone, right? It's as long as you're making a solid amount of money and you can afford to pay somebody a decent wage, go for it. I think that's the best way to do it. Let's see. I have family that sell a lot on Instagram, and I see more resellers are starting to move merch on there. Yeah, resellers are killing it. I know Rally Roots are selling stuff on Instagram. I know when I first got on to the resale game, I wasn't even selling on eBay yet. Like I was like very, I can't even say part-time. I was just a hobbyist, but my Instagram following was pretty big. It's basically the same as what it was 2 years ago at this point, but it was even bigger then because I lost a ton of followers by not being active and engaged. But at that point, when I first quit my job, I was selling suspenders, I was selling shirts, I was selling blazers, and I was selling clothes on Instagram just through my Instagram story. And I was just able to leverage my audience. So it definitely works. It's possible. I just don't try to get too caught up in using social media and having people think that they absolutely need to do it. It's a plus. It's an additive, but it's not something that'll make or break your business. But the good thing is too, you kind of avoid having to pay fees too. So that's always a plus. Let's see. We as resellers talk about when will eBay require buyers to pay immediately with best offers. However, my question is when will eBay stop placing a hold on funds when buyer has 10 business days to return? Yeah, that's that whole like return process, especially now with the pandemic and just delays all around. Buyers even have like 30-40 days. I remember at one point that they had to return, that they had enough time to return. So it does suck. I have a couple returns that's like in limbo right now, and the funds are on hold. It's literally nothing we could do about it. I just try to call eBay, stay on top of them, because like I tell everybody all the time, if you're not on top of your business and on top of your money and making sure that you get it, eBay is not gonna try to follow up with you. So you got to make sure you're following up with them. And sometimes as long as you're staying up to date with them and letting them know, they might just, move you right along. Depending on who you speak with, which customer service person you speak with, they could just move you right along and just release the funds to you. It's happened to me before where, I had an item in limbo for like 2 weeks, and eventually I just kept calling and kept complaining, and they was like, okay, we'll cancel this. And I think they refunded the buyer, and then they gave me the money as well. So just got to stay on top of it. Let's see. I just got a thermal label printer. It is on the way. Is it really makes a lot of difference? Well, for me, it made a lot of difference. For me, at that point, before I bought the thermal printer. Oh, let me know which thermal printer you bought in the comments too. But before I bought a thermal printer, I was just using an inkjet, and it took a long time to ship because I was taping all the corners. I was wasting a lot of money on ink. And that was also because I was like my store was starting to grow. So when I was only shipping 2 to 3 items a day, I didn't care because it was just, it might take 10 minutes to ship out 3 or 4 packages and cool. But once I started shipping out 20, 30 items a day, I realized, okay, I I don't have all this time to package up items and tape all the corners and wait in line at the post or all those types of stuff. So the thermal printer for me was clutch. I'll tell people all the time, I think I said it in the last live show, any printer would do. If you have a printer that's inkjet, there's adhesive labels, so you don't have to tape the corners. You don't have to waste time with that. You can have a printer that uses toner instead of ink, so you can save some money on ink. But for me, I know it was a necessity at that point. It was essential for my business. But if you're just starting out, you're only shipping a couple items a day, you could hold off on a thermal printer because they are kind of pricey. Let's see, how have Burlington, Ross, Marshalls been for you lately? So Ross is still really good. I was just at Marshalls today. Marshalls is trash. I was at Burlington yesterday. Trash, didn't get anything. But like I said, Ross is still really good. Ross got a lot of clothes now that I'm like starting to see a lot of Nike sportswear stuff. So I'm grabbing that up, even though I'm not trying to do a lot of clothes. I keep saying that, but if the margins is there and it's a fire piece, I'm picking it up, like jerseys as well. So the Ross finds are good. I got to drop a video on Ross stuff soon. I just wasn't, bringing my camera with me because I just wasn't doing it. But Ross has been good so far, but Burlington and Marshalls, trash. Let's see. How much time do you let pass on an item that isn't moving to drop the price? Sometimes I might wait anywhere between like 30 days. Sometimes I might wait 60 days, depending on the market, depending on the item. But I've waited years to sell an item. It took me sometimes 2-3 years to actually sell the item until the right buyer came along. So I try to practice patience, but at the same time, some stuff, if it was a bad buy, I just try to break even and just let it go. Let's see. I sold a jacket on eBay, priority flat envelope on August 24th, and it's still telling arriving late and hasn't changed since August 28th. Should I assume it's a loss? The buyer hasn't contacted me so far. So the good thing is if the buyer didn't contact you, you good, because the buyer isn't complaining yet. I'll probably just be a little patient with it because the delays, it's a fact. The delays are there. The delays are prevalent. There's nothing we could do about it. Priority or not, it's delayed. If a couple more days pass by, I would probably drop into the post office, ask them to check on it for you, because the tracking that they can see and the tracking that we can see is completely different. But hopefully the buyer gets it, because if they don't, that'll suck. Let's see. I went out sourcing this week and found amazing deals. Do you still get excited when you find great deals that can turn high profits? Hell yeah, I get excited. It's just a different level of excitement, right? Like at first, it's always levels. Like when I made my first couple of sales, it's like that joy that you can't even explain, of like just making money for yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole different type of joy. After a while, you still get excited. You're still grateful, but it's not like that super hype moment. It's more like everything I purchase is basically like betting on myself. So once I make those sales, it's more like an assuring feeling of like, all right, I priced it right. It finally moved, but I don't get super hyped like I used to. So I don't know. I'm always still appreciative and thankful, but I don't get super hyped like I used to. But when I'm outsourcing and I find something dope, especially if I think at this point, I'm more excited if I find something that I like and it's in my size. I get more excited about that because I find so much dope stuff in thrift stores and in Ross and places like that it's like, and it's not my size, that I'm just so used to selling the good stuff. But when I find stuff for me, that's when I get more excited now. Let's see. How much of your inventory would you say are items you know will sell versus items you risk in hopes they sell? Probably 98% is things that I'm pretty sure they will sell. I'm not a big risk taker anymore. I used to take more risks when I was thrifting because I was finding a lot of like one of one, and that was like my main my main way of sourcing. I was just doing a lot of thrifting. Now I don't necessarily take a lot of risks. I only buy stuff that I know have sold in a decent amount of time in the last 90 days or so. Stuff that like certain shoes that doesn't have a big history of sales. Just my experience with shoes overall, it might be a quote unquote risk, but I basically just use my own judgment. Honestly, if I think a shoe is dope, I believe somebody else would think so too. So I just buy the shoe. So it's not a huge risk, but at the end of the day, it's just like trusting your own intuition. You know what I mean? But I don't take big risks anymore. It's tried and true. The eBay sold listings is your friend. Google is your friend. I'll just use that. Let's see, if someone wants to cancel an order, do I still have to pay the final value fee, or do I need to wait and open a case? Well, if they cancel the order and you accept the cancel request, eBay automatically sends you back that final value fee, so you don't have to worry about that. What is the best time and days to go to Ross? Like I said, I go every day. So some days I feel like earlier in the day is usually better. First thing in the morning, I don't usually find stuff. But the Rosses in my area, sometimes I might go at 6 and they'll be restocking. And then sometimes I might go at like 12 and then they're restocking. So it's never really like a definite time. I always try to ask the employees, when are you guys going to restock? Sometimes I might be at the register and ask them if they have any shoes coming out later today. I just try to, just ask questions and stuff like that. But for me, at least, I haven't realized like a specific time that is ideal to go. That's why I just try to go all the time, just keep switching it up. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Just sitting here soaking up knowledge. That's what's up. You got to learn as much as you can to get this money. Let's see. How can you get your monthly fees down with eBay? So the monthly fees, right? That's a good question. The thing with the monthly fees, what's helped me is that I've really tried to focus more on higher margin items, more expensive items that's athletic shoes that sell for over $100. You pay 0 fees. Well, you pay the 30-cent processing fee. So it's still a very small fee, but it's marginal, right? So the fees at one point was wearing me down. I realized I was spending a lot of money on fees, and I just realized it was better to kind of shift the business model a little bit. So you might want to go check into your analytics and see how much they're charging you per, like, in each particular category. I know clothing, like certain clothing items have different fees than others. Some shoes have different fees. Certain hard goods have different fees. So you might just want to see which fees are the lowest and just hone in on that category. For me, I realized with shoes, 0 fees, I'll take full advantage of that. So I'm just like, even though I'm spending more money, I'm having to pay less money once the item is sold. So at the end of the day, that's just works best for me. But outside of that, I don't really know any other ways to lower your monthly fees. Lowering your monthly fees mean you're making less sales. So that's definitely not what you want. Let's see. I do not accept returns. Is that killing my sales? I mean, it depends on your feedback. It depends on your items. If you got desirable items that people want and you don't accept returns, people are still going to buy it. But if you have like a lot of thrift store stuff, a lot of used items that kind of just like how my store used to be, accepting returns is very, very important, because it kind of gives that buyer a peace of mind. It kind of gives them that confidence is if the item doesn't fit, if they change their mind, could they still return it? And the thing with what I realized is that if the item is not as described in any way, shape, or fashion, they can still open up a return and return the item. So I'd rather just give them that option to return it. Returns suck, but I mean, it's just part of business, right? So you just got to do it. And I mean, it might be killing your sales based on, I don't know what you're selling, so it could be hurting your sales, but there's a lot of people that don't accept returns and their business is doing just fine. So you just got to do what works for you. You know what I mean? You just got to see what works, test everything, and just see what works for you. How often do you wait for clothes to sell on eBay before you lower your price? So clothes, yes, same thing. Anywhere between 30 days, sometimes 60 days. Sometimes might we wait even longer if it's something limited, something rare. But I try to switch it up. I try to be a little patient, but at the same time, just monitor the market. Make sure that you're not priced way too high. Make sure you're not priced too low. And just always monitor the market. You see, I find myself looking at random things in stores and can get lost on what I'm looking for to sell on eBay. Always looking for the best deals. Is there something you do to stay on top of popular items? So I'm just selling shoes. Like, my main focus is just selling shoes. When I go thrifting, if I go to a garage sale or like anywhere else that you can find the deal, it's for fun. But when I'm in Ross and Burlington and Marshalls, that's where I'm like honing in and I'm trying to be focused. Or the thrifting is just for fun. So it's really just the popular items for me. If popular Nikes, popular Adidas, it's easier for me to find those type of items. Once you're in the thrift store, the popular stuff usually doesn't end up in the thrift. You know what I mean? So it's tough. I know you can use this one app called Terapeak on eBay. It kind of tells you what buyers are looking for, what's like trending right now. If you're a fashion seller, you can find out like popular items. I used to go on websites like Mr. Porter. I used to go on GQ, but GQ is just a big ass ad now. Like everything on there is yeah, you're not gonna gain a lot of value. But brands like websites like Mr. Porter, Nordstrom, Barney's, you can go on websites like that, try to find out like just different brands, the brands that any and everybody wouldn't know. And that way, once you go source, you can kind of just have a bigger knowledge base and just find out, just find better stuff. You know what I mean? But the more knowledge you have, the more efficient you'll be when you're sourcing. Let's see. Just answered that one. What clothing brands do you mostly look for at Ross or thrifting? So in Ross, it's all about Nike sportswear. Like I know that's what I'm wearing a lot of. Like even my shorts right now. Let me see if I could take this off. Like even my shorts now is the big logo Nike sportswear stuff. Like for me, it's all about dope Nike sportswear, Nike athleisure. Like that's the type of stuff I'm wearing now personally. So that's the type of stuff like that my eyes gravitate towards. If I'm in a thrift and I'm in the men's section, like I just found a Bell Staff jacket a couple weeks ago that sold for $300. That's a really solid brand to look for. I sold this jacket from the brand Cool, Kuhl. That one sold for like $150. Those brands, those are first things that come to the top of my head. But for me, it's all about Nike, Adidas, Lululemon, stuff like that is what I like to wear. So that's what I'm looking for. But menswear brands too, Brioni is always good. Ketone is always good. Those brands always hold solid value. Let's see. Do you pass on flooded items or do you pick them up anyway? It depends what the item is. Like if it's a dope shoe and it might be flooded, I might still pick it up and just wait till the flood ends. Like I might list mine, but I just know I know I'm going to sit on it for a while. Some stuff, if it's flooded and the margins aren't necessarily there, like it's kind of shaky, I'll just pass on it. What do you think about Tesla? I'm getting one for sure. I'm getting a Tesla. My wife wants one too, so I know I'm gonna get one. I want a Corvette. I want the new C8. That's why in one of my last videos I had put it in the thumbnail because I was talking about car parts, but it had nothing to do with a Corvette. But I'm manifesting that Corvette C8. It might not be until 2022, 23, but I'm manifesting it. Same thing with the Tesla. Both of our cars right now are paid off in full. Her cars she owns hers. I own mine, so we're not in like a rush to buy a new car or even get into a car payment. But a Tesla is going down, especially the one with them doors, that SUV. Whew. Let's see. I had saved quite a bit reselling, but since the stores have reopened, it seems like I'm addicted to sourcing. I feel like I'm missing something. Should I slow down? If you got the money, buy. Like as long as you're not buying like garbage. I tell people you gotta spend money to make money. And the problem is that sometimes we're nervous in terms of like the return. We spend $100, we want to make $100 right away. But as long as your tolerance is high, your patience is high, you'll be good. As long as you're buying the right items, it's just a matter of time till you get your return. You just gotta be patient with it. So I know I've had to ask myself that same question. Like I'm buying too much. Like should I slow down? But I'm just banking on the fourth quarter being really big. So in order for it to be big, I have to have a large inventory. So that's where my focus has been. So we're on the same page. As long as you're not spending more than you're making and you're not able to like pay off your credit card or you're not able to handle your bills, because if you're spending more than you're making, well, then you could find yourself in trouble. But as long as you're making money and you're good with it, just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't buy trash. Don't buy trash. Just picked up 10 pairs of Adidas Supernova Gore-Tex shoes, looking for everything Gore-Tex for the next few months. Yeah, Gore-Tex is big, especially fall and winter. It's like a waterproof material. It's usually on boots and stuff like that too. I know Merrell uses Gore-Tex. Timberland uses Gore-Tex on some of their stuff too. They even got that collab with Supreme. They use Gore-Tex stuff. I don't even know exactly which shoe that is, the Supernova Gore-Tex, but I mean, if you picked up 10 pairs, I'm gonna look into it because it might be something worthwhile. But that's what's up. If you can get it for a good price, pick them up. Pick them up. What's going on? So I'm glad that I saw your name pop up. I'm gonna send everybody those emails about the reseller mastermind. If anybody that's in here right now that had reached out to me, I'm gonna send you guys some messages now. I think it's about 5 or 6 people. I'm gonna keep the group rather small. It was meant for experienced resellers. I had a few messages from people that were kind of new to reselling, and I'll probably start a different mastermind for those people. So for those of you, if you don't get a message from me, don't trip. I'll probably reach out to you in a couple of days or maybe next week. It's already Thursday, so probably next week I'll reach out. But I'm gonna be sending out those emails to everybody for the mastermind. Like I said, it's gonna be something like 5 or 6 people meeting once a week, and you could chop it up offline. Let's see. Hey, love your videos. Thank you very much. With managed payments, how and when do we get charged if we use FedEx to ship? So they just add it to your bill. They add it to your invoice at the end of the month. And that just makes it easy. Overall, you shouldn't be having a huge invoice unless you're still going to be getting invoiced for the cost of your eBay store, the cost of promoted listings if you do it, and any other fees like that. FedEx, Smart Post, and stuff like that. They bill you. They add that bill to your invoice at the end of the month. Let's see. Just make the buyer pay for the return. Yes, that's what I do as well. I don't offer free returns. I accept the returns, but they're not free. If the buyer says the shoe doesn't fit or something like that, they have to pay for a return. So it works out just fine for me. My return rate is like 2%. Let's see. When will you announce your team? I sent in my answers last week. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna send you guys that email. I'll probably send you that email later on today. It's just been super busy. I've just been out here trying to source everything, trying to get to this money. Have you heard of Goodwill outlet? Absolutely. There's a Goodwill outlet in Phoenix. I just don't go. Like I probably should, but I remember I went before, like pre-pandemic, and it was just a mess. And it was just, I didn't like it. I didn't like the environment. I didn't feel comfortable. But I've heard that it's much better now, especially with COVID and all of these things. There, it's almost like you have to sign up, and it's like a waiting list now. So it's a very limited amount of people that can go in there, and I think they limit the amount of people that can go to every those big blue bins. So it's probably a much better experience now, much better than it used to be. Let's see, there's someone bugging me for measurements, and I ignored him because the person that asked for it usually don't buy. Then he made me lowball offer. Should I just block him? I have a feeling he will open a case. Open a case if he purchases it. I mean, my block list is huge. Like I block people all the time. So if you want to block them, go right ahead. But when it comes for measurements and stuff, I usually try to add my measurements in the listing. And we're talking about clothing here. So I try to add the measurements in my description beforehand. Unless it's an item that I have like several sizes, I'm not going to measure every item and do it that way. But if it's a one-off item that I found in the thrift, I try to measure it first. That way I don't have those questions. And that could kind of filter some of the people that waste time. You know what I mean? Because you're absolutely right. The people that ask the most questions usually don't even buy. So I just try to have all the information in the description first beforehand. Let's see. These bin stores are becoming very popular. I plan checking one 40 miles away from me. Yeah, so that's a good tip right there. So you want to go to the Goodwills and the thrift stores. That's in the very affluent areas where the people with money, where they live, that's where you want to be. If you want to drive out to a suburb or even a different city, like you said, 40 miles away, that's the plan. Like I remember when I was living in Buffalo, I would not source because I just used to thrift for fun, for stuff for me. But I would go to Cheektowaga, which was like 25 minutes away. I would go to Hamburg, which was like 40 minutes away. literally just to try to get the good stuff. So that's something that's tried and true. Definitely got to do that. Let's see. What do you think of the brand Huck? I see it a lot at Ross, and retail ticket is usually a high price. Have you ever bought it? I've seen it, but I never bought it. Like, I've seen it, and it, for me, when it comes to brands, like, I can spot quality, and I'm not gonna say it might be worth money. I might be tripping by not picking it up, but it wasn't something that like drew me in and made me want to purchase it. The jackets I seen wasn't dope, so I just looked at it and kept it moving. But I mean, check the comps. I'll check the comps later, but I don't even know. My man says, buy Tesla stock before the car. Yeah, that's a good tip. That's a good tip. And everybody should be financially responsible, right? But I've owned my car since 2016. My next car is going to be some heat. I've been sacrificing and buying stock and all that shit. But my next car is going to be some heat. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to be patient. I haven't had a car note in a very long time. And my next car, I might just buy it cash. But until then, you're just going to be patient. You're going to manifest it. And you're going to make it do what it do. Let's see. Do you return any items before the 30 days if they don't sell? I've done that in the past. When like a couple years ago, I was king of that. Like, I used to be like, man, this ain't selling fast enough. I got to return it. Now I've become a lot more patient. I've realized that sometimes it might take 6 weeks to 2 months, sometimes 3 months before an item sells. So since I've started, leveraging credit and doing more retail arbitrage, I don't want to be that person always returning stuff, because I'm in these stores all the time. The managers, the loss prevention people, they see me all the time, and I don't want to be that guy that's always buying a bunch of stuff and returning a bunch of stuff. So at this point, for me, it's almost better to just take the L, try to break even, and just leave it alone at that. But I don't return as much as I used to. This is going on 3 years now. When I first got on YouTube, and I was like kind of dancing in like Ross and Marshalls, like trying to play with it a little bit, because at that point I didn't have the money to spend. If it didn't sell, I was returning it by the 27th day. I would have alerts and I would have notifications on my phone to kind of keep me up to date. Now I'm just more patient, and I just trust that the items that I'm buying, hopefully it doesn't get super flooded after I already bought it, but I just try to wait, just try to be patient. Have you noticed all the crazy colors lately from Puma and Reebok and Fila at Burlington? They're really trying to compete. Yeah, boy, Puma, those RSX, I got my wife a pair. I'm trying to get a pair myself. Those RSX are fire. I love them, but it's one of those things where it's like they're trying to compete and they're doing pretty good. The people who are buying Puma, not so much Fila. I know Reebok is trying to pull out some heat too. Fila, they're still losing. They're definitely not what people are trying to buy right now. But Puma is definitely competing. Puma is up there right now. I think Puma, if I had to put it like a scale, I would still, of course, say Nike and Jordan brand #1, Adidas #2, and then I would probably say Puma is coming in at 3, either Puma or Under Armour. But people are shopping and buying Puma for sure. Those RSX brought them to another level for sure. Let's see, thoughts on Vineyard Vines. I used to love Vineyard Vines. I don't know if it's still selling like that, because I don't usually find it in the thrift like I used to. And it doesn't, it's I'm not going to say it's hit a wall, but it hasn't been selling. The overall resale value on Vineyard Vines went down years ago, right? So if you find it in the thrift for a few dollars, maybe 2 or 3, I would probably pick it up and sell it for 20, but even 20 might be a stretch now. So I don't know. Let's see. How do you pay taxes with selling online? So it's two things. If you've made over 200 transactions and over $20,000 in sales, you're going to get a invoice from, well, the game changed, right? Because we don't do business with PayPal anymore. So I've already passed that threshold. So I'm definitely going to get an invoice from PayPal. But moving forward, I think eBay is probably going to be the one sending us 1099Ks and stuff like that. And once they send that to you, you just, handle your taxes. For me, I pay taxes monthly. I have an S Corp, so I pay myself every month. I'm basically just an employee of my business. Even though I'm the only employee and I'm the owner, but I am an employee. So I pay myself every month. And by me paying myself every month, my taxes are taken care of. That way I don't have to deal with a huge tax burden at the end of the year. Let's see. Have you noticed Posh has changed their format? It's terrible now. I'm on Posh all the time. I just, maybe I need to update my app, but it looks the same to me. So I'm going to update my app and see if it's different. But Posh has been terrible for me for a while, honestly. I've been buying a lot more than I've been selling. So I've been just finding a lot of steals, a lot of deals. Still a lot of people trying to scam on there. So you always got to be aware of that. But Posh has been pretty terrible for me for a while. Let's see. Do you ever buy items that aren't listed on eBay at all? Yeah, sometimes I might check comps on Poshmark or check comps just on Google to see what the retail price is. But I've definitely purchased items that's not on eBay. And anytime that does happen, my price is usually pretty high because I'm the only person with it, right? So that's something I don't mind doing at all. I've always liked Puma. That's what's up. I know I can't say that. I've been a Nike, Adidas, Jordan, always. Like Puma is, to me, is new now. Like I'm just now noticing Puma. So I love what they're doing. Puma just signed Neymar, which is big. Really? I didn't even know that. I thought he was with Nike. Wow, that's what's up. Good for them. They signing everything. They got Cole. They got They got Lonzo. They got a few basketball players signed to Puma. So they on the come up for sure. They got Jay-Z as the creative director, and you know that's gonna bring people in. Do you grab kid shoes at Ross? I seen some nice Air Max, but the sizes were confusing. Yeah, 6Y, 7Y. I usually do grab those up. The much smaller sizes, unless it's like a really dope shoe, I usually pass. But 6Y, 7Y, I still pick it up because women can fit that size too. Puma's J. Cole lineup is moving too. Yeah, Puma picked up J. Cole, so for sure, Puma is up. Puma is up, and I know they had that collab with Nipsey, and I just bought the tracksuit that dropped last year, the black and red joint. I just picked that up. Because when he passed, everything was skyrocketed in price. People was really getting crazy with the resale, but the prices have dropped significantly, especially since it's summer. People aren't buying tracksuits and stuff. So I bought mine, and that's probably why I'm like more interested in getting some RSXs. If I can find like an all black pair or a black and red pair to wear with the tracksuit. But yeah, Puma's doing big things for sure. I definitely appreciate all the advice and tips, no doubt. Glad I could help. That's what we're here for every Thursday, 6 p.m. It's like a TV show. Let's see. One thing about reselling is confidence. I never rush to return before 30 days. I'd rather sell for $5 profit or break even, like you said. Yeah, that's the thing, because like Ross and Burlington, they're businesses too, right? So it's like, and when it comes down to returns, just as much as we hate returns, they hate returns too. So I try to just keep that in mind and just try to, just limit that type of stuff. I used to return all the time, but now, just like you said, either break even, make a small profit, but it'll be a bad look overall if I'm the guy buying a bunch of shoes every week, and then 30 days afterwards I got a big bag of stuff that I'm trying to return. So it's a bad look. I haven't had time for Posh. It needs too much love. Yeah, Poshmark needs too much attention. It's too much sharing, too much Posh partying. It's too much. I don't like it anymore. I sell mostly on Poshmark. So will they send you an invoice as well? No, Poshmark actually doesn't send any like invoices or anything. It's very weird how they do it. I don't know how they're able to do that, but Poshmark doesn't send an invoice. But still pay your taxes, because that's the thing with taxes. It's one of those things where you never really know what your life would be like 5-6 years down the road, and getting a late tax bill from something you were trying to avoid years in the past, that'll ruin your whole week. So still pay your taxes, even though they're not going to send you an invoice. Still pay your taxes. Still take advantage of like the deductions that you can use, like the cost of your inventory, any your workspace, your phone bill, all those types of things are still deductible expenses. So still pay your taxes and still take advantage of those deductibles. And oftentimes, if you're not like a full-time person and you're just trying to make some extra money, usually it's in your favor to just pay your taxes. Let's see. Ross is starting to bring tons of Reebok as well. Yeah, I haven't been seeing too much Reeboks in Ross. I just been seeing a lot of Pumas. A lot of Pumas. I've been picking up some. Some I'm passing on, but I know a lot of Pumas is in Ross. At least my Ross. I haven't been seeing a lot of Reeboks, but and for all we know, they're probably in the store, and my eyes are just not locking in on it. I'm just bypassing it. Let's see. I don't have an eBay store yet. Is it necessary to have a store? If so, can you explain why and what's the best level to begin with? Currently have 100 listings, primarily shoes. Don't have an eBay store yet. Yeah, so eBay store isn't super important. It'll save you some money on fees, but at the end of the day, to cost to list, I think is like 20 cents if you don't have a store. So it's not a ton of money to basically manage without a store. The thing is, there's just some benefits. Like you get the shipping discount. You get not the shipping discount. You get that shipping supply coupon every quarter. You get a bunch of free listings every month. If you have a store, sometimes they randomly send you extra listings. So there's some perks to having it, but it's definitely not necessary. You don't need it. Definitely don't need it. But if you were to try it out, I would probably say start with the basic eBay store. That's what I have now. That's what I've always had. I was planning on upgrading, but I just realized it's not necessary. Yep, Kyle Kuzma, Melo Ball, they all on Puma now. Let's see. Do you recommend trying to source in other places since everything at Ross has been flooded lately? I mean, you can still source other places. The thing with Ross is the fact that every Ross gets different stuff. So some things might seem like it's flooded, but it's really not. Like if we got to really think of like what is the term flooded? Like what does that mean? Because there's some listings on eBay where there's 64,000 active listings in one category or one particular item. To me, that's flooded. But if we're talking about shoes and it's like 200 other listings and it's different sizes, and then you narrow it down to just the size that you have, and it might be 40 or 50 other people, to me that's not flooded, because the market is still an open market, and as long as you're priced right, you can still sell it in a decent amount of time, especially if you promote your listings. I use promoted listings, and that helps move stuff a lot faster. But absolutely, I still source in thrift stores. I still go to Burlington, still go to Marshall's. I was in Nordstrom Rack earlier today. I still go other places. I just like Ross because it's super close to me. Are you still picking up Air Max 200s? I actually never picked up Air Max 200s. I never sold any. I know those were flooded. Those were like over 2,000, 3,000 listings, regardless of colorway, because the Nike outlets, they were selling them for like $30, $20, brand new in box. So those are definitely flooded. I've never sold 200s. Dope shoe, but I think for me, if I picked onto the wave earlier, like if I got put onto the wave earlier, I might have sold them, but not really. Let's see. Another thing I've noticed, Burlington has some polo boots, different colors are selling really well right now. Yeah, polo boots always do well. Fourth quarter boots in general, Timberland especially. But the Burlington by my house is trash. So if there are some polo boots there, if there are some polo boots in Burlington, they're not in my Burlington. So if you can find them, get them listed. Don't wait for the fourth quarter. Just get them listed now, because people are shopping and buying boots now, and just, take full advantage of it. Get that money now. What happened with those $1,000 New Balances? Nothing. They are sitting right now. I actually got an offer. What was that? Last week, Sunday. It was an unofficial offer. Somebody messaged me and said, "Oh, you don't have the box, so would you take $750?" And I ignored that, because to me, that's, if they wanted to even send an offer, they would have sent the offer, one. And two, anybody that wants to put a valuation to a New Balance box of over $500, because my asking price was $12, they're not serious. You know what I mean? So the shoes are there. They're just sitting. I got a few watches, probably people from YouTube watches the channel. You're just watching the shoes. So we'll see. I'm happy with 1,000. I think I got them listed at 1,200. I'm happy with 1,000, but I mean, just the fact that I spent, I think, $34 or $38 on them. If I could get a few $100 on them, I'll be happy with that. But they're sitting right now. Let's see. Don't sleep on Hoka on the Nordstrom online store. Pretty good discount deals. Okay, that's what's up. I'm gonna check it out once I get off here. That's definitely Hoka was one of those brands that I remember talking about when I first got onto YouTube, and I was in Santa Barbara, California, so the Hoka 1-1 outlet was not too far from me. It was like 40 minutes away from me, so I used to find like brand new Hokas in Goodwill because they would literally just donate a bunch of them. So I was selling Hokas like crazy at one point. Now I don't find them as often, and when I do, they usually beat, so I don't usually pick them up. But I used to sell a lot of Hokas back in the day. If you guys follow the channel if you've been following the channel when I was doing a lot of trip to the thrift videos, I was selling a lot of Hokas, at least 2 to 3 pairs a day, because I was always finding them, and I would spend a lot of time cleaning them up, throwing them in the washing machine. So definitely one of my favorite brands, but I just don't sell them as much anymore. Let's see. Ross is dropping a lot of Timberland boots, kind of on the fence, copping before it's too late. I've been copping them, and I've been selling them, so pick them up. Those gray, pink, and blue Timberland boots, I sold, I think, 4 pairs so far, and I still have 2 more left. And I think they were like $49.99, and I've been selling them for about $110. So for me, that's good margins. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that's good margins. Have you thought about selling baby items? I thought about it, but I'm just not finding anything worthwhile. If I can find some dope baby sneakers or some dope like baby jerseys and like onesies, that'll probably be some of the stuff I'll pick up. But lately, I just haven't been finding good baby clothes. But people spend a lot of money on their kids' clothes. So if I find some good stuff, I'll sell it. How do you price Poshmark listings? Do you use eBay sold comps and subtract shipping? Or do you look to see what others are listing at on Poshmark? Damn, I wish I could help you, my man. When I used to list on Poshmark, I would usually use the eBay price. I haven't listed anything on Poshmark in months. I'm trying to just sell my Poshmark Closet out, and once it's sold out, I'll be off of Poshmark. But I used to just use eBay's prices. Sometimes I would price it maybe $10 or $15 a little more to kind of balance the fees. But with Poshmark, I've made so much videos as to why I don't sell on Poshmark anymore. But I think Poshmark just got a lot of work to do, and I'm kind of over it. So I'm not even selling on there anymore. Not like that. Not like I used to. I used to kill it on there. Do you ever buy items at Ross for, let's say, $35 and you have them listed at $300, but someone sends you an offer for $200? Do you sell them? Do you sell them to let them go, or do you hang strong to that sell price? If I found anything at Ross for $35 and it sells for that much money, I'm taking that $200. I'm taking that. Unless it's like everything. Of course, it's a gray area to everything, but if I spent $35 and somebody's going to pay me $200, I'm taking that money and putting it back into the business. Absolutely. Now, let's see. How many pairs of Adidas top 10s in the Detroit or Michigan? It's a fave here. How many top 10s? Oh, I've sold a lot of top 10s, and they definitely went to Michigan. I sold a lot. But I don't know. I don't necessarily know the question, but I've definitely been selling top 10s to Detroit for sure. Do you think that you have to list more to sell more? Yeah, I think so. I think you got, because the thing is, it's a numbers game. So as long as you have quality items, you gotta put it out to the people. But the thing is, it's a lot of people that just have like really like bottom shelf stuff that nobody really wants. So you can list those type of cheap stuff that nobody really wants all day long, and that's not going to necessarily increase your sales. But if you got quality items that people are searching for, and you're listing more of it on a daily basis, and you're getting super consistent, you'll absolutely see more money. Absolutely. Martha, thumbs up. Yes, hit that thumbs up button. Help the channel out. Hit that thumbs up. Let's see. Have you been doing better on StockX or GOAT lately? I don't sell on either one. I need to get on GOAT. That's going to be my goal for the next couple of days. Tomorrow I'm going to be home for a while, so I'm going to start putting stuff on GOAT. I've been saying that, but eBay is, to me, you can't beat zero fees. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I just haven't really moved over to anything else, but I know GOAT is where it's at. I got to get on it. Have you ever been scammed by a buyer? Yeah, I've been scammed a couple times where The first one I could think off the top of my head was it was old software, and it was a brand new sealed piece of software, super heavy. You can shake it and hear the discs and everything in there moving around. I shipped it out. The person sent a request like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, saying that the package was empty, and they said like I must have vacuum sealed it to show that it was sealed, and I don't even know how to vacuum seal something like that. So they definitely stole the software, returned an empty package, and I was out $50. And I tried calling eBay, tried to fight it. They wasn't having it, and I got scammed. So it happens to the best of us, but it just is what it is. Chalk it up, cost of business, keep it moving. I'm 16 years old, have 380 listings, and sell like 5 items a day. How to balance eBay and school? You doing a lot. If you're 16, finish school. School is the priority. At 16 years old, school is your priority. Regardless of what, you don't even got to go to college. Finish school, finish strong, and then you could really put more energy on eBay. What do your parents think of you doing both of these businesses like that? Because I know my mom probably wouldn't have it, because it sounds like you're doing real good. 5 items a day. That's solid. That's a solid turnaround. But stay focused on school for sure. You're not going to come to this channel and I'm going to tell you, oh, drop out of school, focus on eBay. Nah, education is key. So focus on that. And eBay ain't going nowhere. The skills that you're gaining right now ain't going nowhere. So you finish school and then you can handle your business. Shout out to Bounty Nomad for the $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Definitely appreciate it, my brother. Oh, and I saw your email too. About Joe Budden and the whole Spotify controversy, right? I watched it, checked it out. Drop comments if you guys was watching it and you guys know what I'm talking about. Long story short, Joe Budden of the Joe Budden podcast, he signed a deal with Spotify, and basically it all comes down to ownership and entrepreneurship. And that's why it was so important to me to kind of soak up that game, because when you have IP, intellectual property, or you have a business or anything like that, and you're doing business at a significant level, you're going to have people that are going to want to partner with you, going to want to provide opportunities, but you got to know your worth, right? At the end of the day, I know a lot of people want to sell their eBay store later down the road, or do something, create a business and sell it later down the road, or just, grow something big until somebody else wants to buy them out. The goal is to always know your value. And that's what I took away from that. And Joe is clearly fighting for creators and entrepreneurs, and basically trying to, empower people, let people know their value. So shout out to you again for that $10 super chat. Thanks for sending me that email too, and putting me on, because I probably wouldn't have watched it, but I appreciate it. Let's see. How long do smaller sizes usually take you to sell? Smaller sizes kind of suck for me, like size 5s and 6. I'm trying not to pick those up unless it's like a super fire shoe. But size 5s and 6, they're really tough. They move slow. I'm trying to avoid picking them up, like I said, but they definitely move slow. Now, let's see. Thanks to you, I hit the UGG store in August, sitting on approximately 55 pairs of boots and shoes, all for about 30 a pop. About 40 winter theme Nike EXP, LeBron's 2019s. Your fourth quarter is about to be very bright. That's what's up. Because those Uggs, those fly in the fourth quarter. People are buying those boots all fourth quarter. So good for you. Let's see. Hoka 1-1s have sold quicker than any shoe I have ever sold, like 24-hour turnarounds. Yeah, that's what's up. The only thing is, if you selling stuff that fast, I've learned if I'm selling items that fast, I'm usually priced too cheap. So keep that in mind too. But Hokas definitely are very popular. People love them. But if you're selling items a little too quick, you might want to raise your price just a little bit. Let's see. Poshmark Pros. Good photos. Describe your items accurately, if possible, to get a return. And if you sell an item 500 above, they authenticate it first and then ship it to the buyer. Yeah, I don't know how they authenticate stuff over there. I've never sold anything over 500, but I mean, people are killing it on Poshmark. If you're killing it, keep doing what you're doing. But for me, I'm out. I'm over it. Let's see. Do you have any suggestions for shipping golf bags? Do do local. Craigslist, Facebook, let go. The shipping on that is probably going to be way too much. So just do it locally. Let's see. Joe is actually putting in work. Absolutely. Joe is doing a lot for the culture right now. Nothing but respect for Joe Budden right now. Nothing but. On Cloud shoes sell just as quick as Hoka's. Yeah, On Cloud, it's like a QC logo. Those shoes do really well too. Very, very well. I sold a few of those in the past too. All right, y'all. That's all I got today. Been on here for an hour, 15 minutes. Thanks again for everybody tuning in to the live show. We're going to do these every Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'll be dropping a video tomorrow as well. Also, the consistency shirts, the white one is on the site now. So if you guys are interested in picking up a white consistency tee, we got the white, we got the black. Probably be adding some other colors later on. But if you guys want to support me and the channel and just want to, show love, the consistency shirts are up now. So thanks again for all the support, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.